أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله وسلم صلوات عليك يا رسول الله. This is a podcast of the Deen of an Old Woman. Today I just want to look at one word which we'll try to unpack and try to understand. And this one word it's a human being. And we're going to look at what human being means in Arabic. And we see the beauty of the language, how the meaning is embedded in the actual word. And not only there's one meaning, there's levels of meaning in a word in Arabic. And the beauty of it is that, the word is understood by a child or by a greatest philosopher because they can gauge a deeper meaning, a deeper reality of that one word. And the child can take away what it understands from that one word. And this is one of the wisdom why Allah revealed the last revelation using the Arabic language, because it's so rich. And that's not the only reason. There are many reasons why Allah chose that language. The beauty of the Arabic language, which Allah chose to reveal His finest testimony, is that the meaning is in the word. It is a rich language, which means that the words give so many dimensions of meaning that it caters for every level of understanding. The language has a huge mental field, and it's a very imagery-provoking language, unlike other languages which produce one meaning, one with one word. But Arabic is vast. It has arrays of meaning in one word. So the more we read Arabic, and especially the Quran, the more we can engage with this deeper meaning of the realities of life. Now, this one word that I said that we look at is human being. And let's see what in Arabic this word is translated as. Okay, the word Insān in Arabic means human being. But look how this one word unlocks the meaning and how comprehensive it is. How it really shows us who we are. How we can understand who we are. Unless we understand who we are, we don't know what we want in life. We don't know what is the purpose in life. And we're going to choose the wrong thing, it will never satisfy us. And would you go into old people's home and you ask the pensioners to reflect on their life, and a lot of them will show you regret of the choices they made in life. Is because they did not know. So this Arabic word, Insān, has great depth to it. It can nourish or give meaning at so many levels. It keeps giving you more and more. So the more you dig into the language, the more it gives. And subhanallah, I think we all need, do they call it not a spade? Is it a spade? Yes, it is. The one you dig the earth with. Well, we need a metaphysical spade to dig this meaning of Arabic, to arrive at deeper meaning and to dig the diamonds and pearls that are embedded in the language. So when we analyze the word Insān, human being, it has two general meaning. One is Insān, which can be divided into Uns and Nisa. Yeah, so it makes Insān. Yeah, Uns and Nisa. The term Uns means a great desire for someone or something. Go even further into it and discover that all human behavior is generated by avoiding harm and seeking benefit or desiring something which will give us a great benefit. And we are constantly desiring the entity. And you know, subhanallah, this also, the word uns means love. It means love. So, you know, each one of us are pursuing something that we love. So uns, an insān, which is human being, part of it is to love. Or also, normally Khan puts it so beautifully, well actually it's Ustad normally Khan, he says that uns, you can say that when a goat or a sheep has a baby, and the baby constantly follows because it loves the mother, is attached to the mother. It has uns for the mother. So that's another meaning of the word ins. So, you know, we as we grow up, we develop that uns, that love, that desire for an entity. And if that's not, kept in check, or we truly understand the purpose of our life, which is obviously to worship Allah, and if we don't understand that, what we're going to do is that we're going to attach this desire to something, or a particular relationship, or something like money, or power, or validation, or social media, or I don't know, games that children play, I don't know, these computer games. So we're going to be attached to that. We're going to love that. We're going to desire that, because we are human being, and part of it, uns, is that we want to desire. Do you know, it's okay to desire things to a certain extent, but not to become so addictive that we can't live without them. Islam encourages us again and again to live a life of moderation, to take from the world what you just need, and don't take too much from the world. Because when we take too much from the world, or when we go to excess in anything, it will ultimately always harm us. And that's why, you know, a lot of the addictions are harmful. Whatever you're addicted to, if you can't live without it, that thing eventually will destroy and harm you. So when we have this desire, but when we misplace that desire in anything other than Allah, it will never satisfy us. Always remember that when this uns, this desire, this love, this longing, this yearning is pursued on any other entity other than Allah, it will not satisfy us. And you know, they give the example of drinking water. You know, when you drink salted water, you're never quenched. You want more and more, but it'll destroy you. When you drink pure water, that will quench your thirst. Similarly, when we attach ourselves, there's this basic fundamental trait, this instinct of uns, of love and desire that we all have. When we don't attach it to Allah, we'll never be satisfied. And that with whatever entity we attach to, we always want more and more. And we desire or crave more and more until it becomes detrimental. Because the need in us is for the desire of one true God, the creator of heaven and earth. Allah created us with love and for love. So it's this love a human being searches for and want to be attached to. Any other desire will never satisfy us, and as a result, we will move from one thing to the other thing in a never-ending chain. You know, subhanallah, and we see that. We see how, we pursue one thing of so much, but it won't satisfy us, whether it's fashion, whether it's power, whether it's wealth. The more you want, but you never be satisfied. And we can see a lot of, the millionaires, or the pop stars, or the sports stars, or the singers. they're not content people. Did you know the highest level of suicide is among those people who have so much? But because that pursuing that entity, whatever it is, will never satisfy them. And then they become so distraught. They feel so worthless. They feel that life is not worth living, and eventually they take their own lives. And none of us want to go in that direction. That's why Islam came to tell us what really we desire is to worship one true God. And we have to focus and direct our attention and our energy towards that. So, subhanAllah, going back to whatever when we desire something, and we want more and more and more, and we'll keep on moving from one to the other, to another thing, and it's never ending. Say that when we want a car, then we want a house, then we want a bigger house, and subhanAllah, this is an endless thing. Will go on and on and on. The house one lives in, you're still thinking, oh, let me see if I can get a bigger house. And the sad thing is that we miss the joy and the peace and the happiness to live in that house. Subhanallah. And the other part of the meaning of human being is nisa. Okay, so we've done uns, which, Insān, which is human being, and one part of is uns, which means to love, to attach, to follow, to pursue. And this is inherent quality we all human beings have. But when we don't live by Islam, we are misdirected, and we put that, this valuable desire into something that's not worthy of it. Wallahi, Allah created us the best of creation. Allah created all the creation to serve us. Can you imagine? Everything Allah created is for our service. Do you know, when I was young, I used to think, oh, why did Allah create a snake? Oh, all it does is it stings you or bites you or whatever the term is, and then it kills you. But subhanAllah, now we know that venom of the snake is used in many medication to help humanity, to relieve pain, to cure. And this applies to everything in creation. Everything creation is there to serve us. Allah said, I think it's saying of some wise man, oh man, I've created the world for you, but I've created you for myself. Meaning, don't become for the world, just take the world as much what you need, but ultimately your return is to me. And you were created for a much higher purpose, much noble purpose, much greater purpose in the scheme of things. And that's how we have this self-worth and honor and dignity. We don't need to seek validation from others. No, the creator of the heaven and earth has validated us and said, oh man, you are the best of my creation. How wonderful is that? And it's quite ironic that people seek happiness here and there and, in this and that and left and center, yet they just have to look within themselves to see the honor and the dignity that Allah has given them. That is enough to make them happy and content. Subhanallah. Okay, now let's look at the other part of the meaning of human beings. And that's nisa, which means forgetfulness. Okay, so Insān, we've dealt with, love and desire, and nisa, which is other part of Insān, which means human being, it means forgetfulness. We often forget things, and this is it's a thing known to everyone. So many times we go shopping and we realize, I left my bank card home. So many times we are traveling and we think, I left my traveling pass oyster at home. We forget things because that's just how human beings are. And subhanallah, so Allah reminds us in the Quran that before we were born, Allah created our souls. And we were in that spiritual realm, and Allah asked us, am I not your Lord? And we said, yes, of course. We made a covenant with Allah. We made him promise that it's only you we believe in, and it's only you who's worthy of worship. One true God, not to associate anything with him. No partners, no children, no associates, nothing is associated with Allah. And this, we all witness to that. We all witness to that. We can't just turn around and say, oh, I didn't know God. No. Each one of us were there. We were conscious because we took an oath. And surely we have to be conscious when we have to take an oath. I mean, look, even today, when we go to court, you have to be a sane, intelligent person to take an oath. They won't ask a mad person to take an oath now, would they? We had all our faculties and we had this intellect and understanding and consciousness, and we said, Allah, only you are worthy of worship. And then Allah put us on this earth. So what happens that we made that promise, but when we came into this material world, we forgot that promise that we had made to Allah. And then what happened, we started chasing and desiring other things and other relationships other than Allah. And Shaitan was very active from day one. It's quite ironic. When we're children, Shaitan leaves us. It doesn't meddle with us. And you see how innocent the children are. They hardly lie. They're hardly malicious. They have goodness in them. Hardly see somebody saying, "Oh, that's an evil child." Children are not evil. We choose to become evil when we grow up, and unfortunately, it's a time of puberty, an age of discernment, when the shaitan, the devil, comes and attacks us. And Allah tells us, if we read the Quran, Allah tells us the devil is an open enemy to you. So what happens? The devil makes us forget. And subhanAllah, even in the Quran, there is a place, I think in Surah Qaf, when Musa alayhi salam is traveling to see Khidr alayhi salam, and there was this fish that he had to carry, and he had this companion with him, this young boy. And what happened was that they were instructed by Allah that when the fish jumps into the sea, that's when they will find this person, Khidr alayhi salam. And when the fish did jump into the sea, subhanallah, I can't remember the name now, of Musa alayhi salam's companion. He forgot to tell Musa alayhi salam. And then Musa said, what happened? He answered, the shaitan made me forget. You see how Allah telling in the Quran, the shaitan makes us forget. Subhanallah. So when we come into the world, the devil, distracts us, and it makes us forget the promise that we made with Allah to worship Him alone. Yeah. So the word Insān, uns, love, nasa is to forget. Okay. So subhanallah. So how do we remember that lost memory that's embedded deep in our consciousness, in our fitra, in our humanity, to worship one true God? We all have that seed within us, all of us. And this seed it blossoms and is nurtured with the water of revelation. So The Quran came down to awaken us, to tell us, to nurture that seed so it can grow, so we understand who we are, what's the purpose of us, and what the relationship we should be having with Allah, with ourselves, and with creation. Look how beautiful is this way of life, this deen, this Islam. So the Quran refers to this as a dhikr, which means reminder. It came to remind us that the covenant we made with God to take Him as our Lord is the only way to peace and tranquility. It's the only way. That's the only way. Allah tells us that truly, in the remembrance of God, do find heart contentment. So the heart's contentment, satisfaction, is remembrance of God. And Allah created the heart in this way, that the heart yearns to know Allah, to recognize Him, to discover Him, and to worship Him. Just the way when the stomach, rumbles and gumbles and grumbles, whatever the word is, rumbles, I think. When you're hungry, you want to go and give it food, yeah? And it's satisfied and you feel really full. The heart craves remembrance of Allah, dhikr of Allah, worship of Allah. That's why the heart has been created. That is why Islam means peace. And and we see that this religion, Islam, it's timeless, and it doesn't have any particular place. As I was, I think it might be, Maulana Madudi rahmatullah, who first brought our attention to the fact that other religion belongs to its founder or place or time. Like, for instance, Judaism belongs to a place, which was this place of the tribe, a Pacific people, and Christianity comes from the word Christ, which belongs to a person, Isa, Jesus, peace be on him. But Islam does not belong to a place or a person. It's not attached to anything. It just means purely peace. How beautiful is that? It's timeless. It's transcendent. It's eternal. Because subhanallah, we will also get peace at time of death. Peace in the grave. Peace in barzakh. And peace in paradise. Look at the merciful Lord. He has created us with a heart that yearns for peace. Then He has given us a manual, a book to show us how to attain that peace by living Islam, which is the only way of life that corresponds with human nature, that caters for human nature, that fulfills human nature, that keeps up with evolving of the human nature, that gives a human being the best personality. The best personality. So you can understand now this word Insān in a better way. So when you come across a human being, just switch your thoughts to the Arabic word Insān and see the richness of it and benefit from that and try to live with that. Wallahi, Islam came to make life beautiful for us. But are we ready to live that beautiful way of life? Thank you.